Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. I want to thank you for joining us today on the show. As always, right here, we bring you the latest in entertainment news, in sports, in fashion, in film and television from around the world. Let's start the show. And we begin this week with a search for Africa's next top model and a continent-wide competition that begins online with the Nigerian-based modeling agency. Agence France Presse brings us the search for the future face of Africa.
Until 20 years ago, black faces used to be a rare sight on the covers of glossy magazines. But things are different. Now, most of the world's leading agencies have models of African origin on their roster. Nigeria's Toby Momo is one of them.
It's more than before. Because African models now are traveling, they're going.
Momo was spotted on the street by Elizabeth Elahor, a former model herself who founded Nigeria's first modelling agency in 2004. Now, Elahor is casting her net even wider with a new competition to find the continent's next top model called Future Face Africa. From models and stylists to makeup artists and photographers, over the last decade, the fashion sector has made huge strides on the continent. One hub is South Africa, the other Nigeria, explains fashion photographer Kola Oshalusi.
Nigeria has been in the forefront of everything, sincerely, in music, in art, in entertainment, in fashion, in models. Nigerian models are some of the most respected black models walking the runway around the world now.
Fashion brands are changing mentalities thanks to social movements like Black Lives Matter. But business logic also plays a role. Africa is a lucrative potential market, Elahor explains.
I think maybe a lot of international designers are realizing that most of their clients as well are from Africa. You know, we buy the expensive stuff, so I think that's what is happening now, and things have changed, and people are realizing, what, Africa is now. Africa is now at the moment.
Future Face Africa will scout for talent over social media, then visit 4 countries for in-person casting. The 12 finalists will be announced in September. The winner will receive a 2-year contract with a major international agency and the ticket to a new life on global catwalks.
Now, fireworks are a big part of U.S. Independence Day celebrations. Actor Will Smith made sure New Orleans had its own 4th of July fireworks this past week by stepping in to pay for the explosive display over the Mississippi River. Smith is in New Orleans for his latest project, Emancipation, which tells the story of a slave who escaped Louisiana and whose scars from being whipped helped expose slavery's cruelty. Now, 4th of July fireworks lit up skies across the United States. Here is a look from some of the show here in Washington, D.C. On what would have been her 60th birthday, Britain's Prince William and Prince Harry unveiled a statue of their late mother, Princess Diana. VOA's Henry Ridgewell reports from London that much of the focus at the ceremony was on the deteriorating relationship between the two princes.
Two brothers united in the love and loss of their mother. Two royal princes locked in a family feud. Prince William and Prince Harry unveiled the statue Thursday in a small ceremony in the sunken gardens of Kensington Palace, Princess Diana's London home. They did not speak publicly at the ceremony, but in a statement the princes said, "Every day we wish she were still with us, and our hope is that this statue will be seen forever as a symbol of her life and her legacy." The bronze statue depicts Diana surrounded by 3 children, which Kensington Palace says represents the universality and generational impact of her work. The unconditional love and affection she showed for her sons broke royal traditions, but touched the hearts of millions around the world. She combined motherhood with glamour, royal duties with charity work.
She had a truly extraordinary life, and indeed her reaching out to aid sufferers and also campaign against landmines are titanic achievements.
Diana died in a Paris car crash in 1997. A nation once famed for its reserve saw an outpouring of public emotion. At the funeral, William and Harry were made to walk behind the coffin in royal tradition, an experience that Harry says left deep mental scars. Brothers now on very different paths. For a brief moment, they were able to reflect together on a childhood filled with a mother's love for her boys, transformed through tragedy.
In Africa, Princess Diana was a champion for people suffering from AIDS and for efforts to clear landmines from former conflict areas. In Zimbabwe, she opened an expansion of a home for older people in need in 1993. And while the facility is still in use, years of economic crisis in Zimbabwe have left it in need of repair. Emilia Mukaratirwa is the care home's manager.
Our ceilings are falling off. The paintwork, it's gone bad. Inside the bathrooms, the showering areas, the sinks and everything, it's really not a good sight. And we really could do with a facelift of the whole place in terms of infrastructure.
Mukaratirwa told the Associated Press that hopes of better funding for the home died with the princess.
It's sad that she passed on way before her time, considering how kind-hearted she was and the philanthropic work that she was doing all over the world that had her ending up here at this very place. We feel that had she lived longer, this place would have been way better than it is today through her foundation.
U.S. comedian Bill Cosby is out of prison after a Pennsylvania State Supreme Court overturned his 2018 conviction on sexual assault charges. Much of Cosby's conviction was based on testimony he gave in a 2005 civil lawsuit by Andrea Constant, who accused him of sexual assault after he gave her a sedative without her knowledge, leaving her incapacitated. In overturning the conviction, the court said the prosecutor at the time assured Cosby that his testimony would not be used against him in a criminal trial. Attorney Jennifer Bonjean celebrated her client's freedom.
Obviously, we are thrilled to have Mr. Cosby home. He served 3 years of an unjust sentence.
Too long.
He did it with dignity and principle, and he was a mentor to other inmates. He was really, as I say, doing the time. The time was not doing him.
Cosby's conviction was one of the first in the so-called Me Too era, which saw scores of women coming forward to accuse powerful men in entertainment, media, and politics of sexual assault. Constant and her lawyers issued a statement calling the ruling disappointing and expressing fear that it could discourage sexual assault victims from coming forward. The Cannes Film Festival rolled out the red carpet for the first time in 2 years, launching the French Riviera Spectacular with the introduction of Spike Lee's jury. Lee, who is heading the jury that will decide the winner of the festival's top prize, the Palme d'Or, arrived at the jury press conference wearing a 1619 baseball hat and trying to keep a low profile. But Lee's presence was hard to ignore. His face as Mars Blackmon from his 1986 feature film debut, She's Gotta Have It, which premiered at Cannes, adorns this year's poster at the festival's central hub, the Palais des Festivals. Lee is the first black person to ever lead Cannes' prestigious jury. In his first comments, Lee spoke about how little has changed since 1989's Do the Right Thing, which made a controversial debut at Cannes.
A couple weeks ago was the 32nd anniversary of the film. That film came out in 1989. I wrote it in 1988. When you see Brother Eric Gardner, when you see King George Floyd murdered lynched, I think of Ray Raheem. And you would think and hope that 30 years later, the black people stop being hunted down like the animals. So, I'm glad to be here though. Thank you.
This year's competition lineup includes 4 female filmmakers, but they still make up a fraction of the 24 filmmakers vying for the palm.
I think when women are listening to themselves and really expressing themselves, even inside of a very, very male culture, we make movies differently. We tell stories differently.
The 74th Cannes Festival officially opened with the premiere of Annette, a fantastical musical starring Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard. Stay tuned to Red Carpet for all the latest from Cannes throughout this month's festival. So the Basketball Africa League action that you saw here on VOA is also contributing to the environment. As for each 3-pointer scored in the inaugural season of the NBA and FIBA-sponsored league, there will be 3 trees planted in Africa. The BAL is recognizing Petro de Luanda for scoring the most 3-pointers during the season. And a $5,000 grant will also be given to an environmental organization in Angola on the team's behalf. That's congratulations to Petro de Luanda for being the BAL's first king of threes. And let's go to South Africa. In Soweto, the cycling crew Biking Bandits Nighttime Rides are drawing scores of young black riders from across the township. Club co-founder Tislani Maiseli tells Agence France Presse that it is not only good fun and exercise, but it's also a political statement as it shows black South Africans on bicycles reclaiming the streets. When it hit them that the tough cabs were far from over, auto technician Tebogo Galagala and his friend Sesiane Mahasele started cycling together in the evening just for fun. They formed the Biking Bandits, whose nighttime jaunts have since infiltrated urban hip culture, attracting scores of young black riders across the township, famous as the birthplace of the anti-apartheid movement.
So seeing young black boys, well, not just young black boys, but young black people on bicycles is literally a political statement. We didn't have much of the means to get on bicycles, and now we do.
We are just hoping that in the near future we are going to be recognized where bicycle lanes will be available for us, and obviously those will attract quite a lot of people in order to cycle more and obviously to utilize their bikes in commuting, obviously using fixed bikes or any kind of bikes that you do have, you'll be able to cycle on the road.
And we close the show with more from South Africa and MasterKG, the musician behind the worldwide hit Jerusalem. He's back with Akon and David Guetta for a new single, Shine Your Light.
No one can take his place. It's so dark out, world so dim. Let your light shine from within.
For me, both David Guetta and Akon, for me, they represent love. They represent unity and togetherness, which is the reason why I chose them, to do this beautiful song with them, because my music also, it's kind of representing the same thing, love, unity, and positive vibes.
Shine your light, shine your light.
I believe Africa is waking up. That's why I'm even wearing this, because. We just getting started now. Things are just really getting started. We actually getting on the right path, musically and socially and other things. I just believe that it's our time. It's our time. This has been a long time coming. Now is the time for us to shine.
And with that, we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are also on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Remember to watch our videos, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.